So good evening, Huddle family. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Y'all sound a little slow. Let's try that again. I know it's a little warm outside. Good evening, Huddle. Happy Monday. Wonderful. We are excited to be at the House of Justice one more week. Another Monday is what we do. Is the hottest place to be in Harlem. We welcome you to our Huddle. And we tell you why we huddle up for change and why we must, you've seen the news, we must continue to unite, speak up, and be the change that we wish to see in our own communities and all over the world. We help unite dreamers to develop, lead, and empower. That's what Huddle stands for. So put your hands together. We are in our 10th year, and we are very excited about it. As always, we always open up with prayer and scripture. So we ask for everyone to be still as we read God's word, and we also pray. So we're going to pray first and then read God's word. All hearts and minds are clear. Let us pray. Most gracious and wise God, we first come to tell you thank you today. Thank you, God, for being our shamir, our protector. Thank you, God, for watching over the National Action Network family and our founder. Thank you, God, for watching over its members, making sure that we are safe in these summer months. God, so many people are experiencing mental health issues, anxiety issues. God, we are asking for peace just to be still. God, we ask you to be with everyone that's struggling, and maybe they can't tell anyone, but they can talk to you, God, in the midnight hour. So we ask you, God, to cover this body. Cover those who are on their way to our NAN Youth Huddle today. God, we ask you to continue to lift up Kathy Jordan Sharpton as she's a healer. She's being healed, God. Thank you. Thank you for her healing. God, we ask you to continue to watch over each and every one of us. And this we ask in nothing but your matchless name, that every knee must bow and every tongue must confess. And all of your children said, amen. Our scripture reading for tonight comes from the book of Isaiah, the 40th chapter, verses 28 to 31. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youth grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not get weary. They will walk and not faint. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading, hearing, and understanding of his word. And we're always excited as we open up every huddle with our Black national anthem. And to help lead us in that effort, we're going to ask our creative contributor, Brother Daniel Sorrell, to come up and lead us in that effort. And if everyone can stand, that would be great.
Amen. I hope y'all could check out the lyrics. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let all rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the presence has brought us. Facing the rising sun, a new day begun. Let us march on to victory is won. Stony the road.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Danielle, for helping lead that. And before we gave our lyrics, so if some of you still struggling, we can get you some lyrics. Just ask us before we leave today. We're always excited when we have our Huddle founder and director, Ashley Sharpton, come to the mic. And she's going to give us some action alerts. So please welcome Ashley Sharpton, everyone.
Thank you, Patrice. Happy Huddle Monday, everybody. It's warm in here. It's hot in here. So thank y'all for coming out. It's hot outside. I don't know if our air is broken. I'm not sure. Yes. Anyway, happy Huddle Monday. We got no response. Hello. Hello. Okay, all right. We are here. We are present. All right. First on the action alerts is the Essence Fest recap. Reverend Sharpton was back in New Orleans for the 30th annual Essence Festival, the Party with a Purpose. Over the 4th of July long weekend, he spoke on panels. He had meetings with significant players, interacted with our Vice President, Kamala Harris, and celebrated the power and brilliance of Black women. That is something to clap about and celebrate. We were there personally, Dominique, myself, JT, Rachel Nordlinger, Damon Byam, who is one of our Atlanta leaders and national leaders, several staff members from around the country. Jennifer Jones-Austin, our board vice chair, spoke on the panel and discussed DEI and important issues. It was pressing and very encouraging to see the response that Reverend Sharpton got on stage, on the main convention stage during the concert in front of 60,000, was it 60,000 people? Dominique, JT? 70,000, excuse me, I stand corrected, 70,000 people. Basically, if anybody has ever seen or been to a concert, it's a lot of people, a lot of things are going on, it's a lot of music, a lot of distractions. People are intoxicated, everything is going on. And for somebody like Reverend Sharpton to come in the room, sometimes you get, backlash, like, oh, sit down, Rev, nobody wants to hear about that. But the crowd was overwhelmingly responsive. They gave him his full attention, and he got them to chant back and engage and basically say back, black the vote. So it was good to see, it was good to hear. Me and Dominique were in the crowd, so we heard the young people around us responding. And it was interesting. It was different responses. Some of them, had smart things to say. Others didn't. A lot of people were responding to what he was saying about President Biden and Trump. And I want to just focus on that a little bit tonight. We're going to get into that with the Did You Knows. But just your responses, and I guess we can do that when we do the what's on your mind on Saturday, sorry, about the good news segment. Basically, Dominic is going to talk about what happened with the president, the assassination attempt with President Donald Trump. And Reverend Sharpton did something yesterday, and I thought it was great leadership. He stood with Mayor Adams, to call for unity. But basically, in response to all of this, political violence, some are saying it's political acting, how will that impact your vote? Because so many people are talking about what happened with Trump, somebody's talking about with Biden. We still have to vote. And right now, are we staying at home? 2 weeks ago, because we didn't have Huddle last week, 2 weeks ago was an issue like, oh, people don't want to come out, we're bored. Now, it's basically everyone is talking about the shooting. But what does that mean for the vote? So when we come up tonight and talk about and give our responses, because I know everybody has a response, everybody, has a feeling, you should care. But this is the National Action Network, so that relates back to the action in regards to our vote, in regards to getting people out, in regards to the issues that still matter, because gun violence is an issue that we should be talking about and what happened, not just about Trump and if it was real and if the blood and all of that, the tea about it. But it should matter what it means to us and how it's going to impact our communities, especially. All right? So when we're talking about it today, just make sure you keep that as focus. I want you to share your opinion. I want you to be honest. But make sure it goes back to something tangible as far as what our agenda is. All right? All right, who knows who Devontae Mitchell is? Ooh, one person? 3. Okay, 5. All right. Devontae Mitchell. Who is Devontae Mitchell? You put your hand up? Who is Devontae Mitchell? Sorry, I'm sweating like a... Young man that was killed. Okay, that's vague. Who is Devontae Mitchell? Mr. Waters? Yes, he was choked to death in Milwaukee. 43-year-old man, but they were not officers, though. They were hotel security guards. But basically, though, they have been fired. So I'm going to read basically what I was just trying to see if somebody was paying attention. Right, we got to do a better job, guys. All right, so Reverend Sharpton was in Milwaukee this past Thursday to deliver the eulogy for Devontae Mitchell. Everyone say his name, Devontae Mitchell. Devontae Mitchell. All right, he's a 43-year-old black man who died after hotel security guards pinned him down on the ground outside the Hyatt Regency. National Action Network called for immediate justice for the family and stands with them and attorney Ben Crump, thank you, as they demand accountability for this horrific death. Devontae Mitchell's family said he was like a teddy bear, and they reminded everyone that his life mattered. The employees accused of pinning him down have been fired, which is good, let's clap that up, but no charges have been filed. So we don't want them to just have been fired. We need charges to be filed and there to be accountability for this man's life being ended, because he's no longer allowed to just talk about what happened to him, he's dead. And his family has basically were left with no answers or nothing. He has 2 children. We were at the funeral. We saw them. One of them is 10 years old, young man, young boy. And there's no reason why his father is gone. And yes, they're saying that there was a mental health issue. How many times have we heard that? And how many times have we called them to have some kind of accountability or training of how to deal with what? Mental health issues. We had a commission hearing this past week as well, talking about basically 2 of the people that were here in charge of the mental health organization said, don't even call the cops when there's a mental health issue, because there's so many times when it ends in death. If someone is having a mental health breakdown, their life should not have to end because you don't know how to respond. And if they're not police officers, these were people, these were hotel people, basically security. They should not have the power to do that. Basically the tape, some of the tape, I don't know if you all seen it, you can pull it up. Some of it's out, a lot of it is not out, and Attorney Crump said it's gonna be a while till all of it is out, and I guess that's when the outrage will come when everyone sees it, but we should be helping to build that outrage now with this family. Devontae is gone, he was killed last month, and nobody is talking about it except Al Sharpton and Attorney Crump. So we need to help put that heat on this situation and turn our attention to it, because mental health, again, somebody is dead because mental health issue went wrong. How many times is that going to be the answer? How many times are we going to be sitting here talking about that again? All right? All right. Just making sure I'm not here by myself. All right. Last thing. I'm cutting this down because I'm hot, I'm sweating. Ongoing fight for DEI. Which week is it that we were outside last week? All right, that means y'all was outside. It's the 27th week. We have been outside for DEI. And what does DEI stand for? Somebody new. Somebody who has not been outside with us. Anybody in the back? What does DEI stand for? In the glasses, Kazembe. All right, that's a D. We got a D for diversity. What about an E? Equity. All right, and Bruce, what's the I? Oh, come on, Bruce. Alexis, what's the I? Alexis? Inclusion, what? Include? Did you say inclusivity? Inclusion. All right, DEI, come on, Action Network. We have some new people in the building. I'm blaming it on that. These are not the old comers. The old comers know what DEI stands for. All right, DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have a whole Did You Know article about that today, since some of y'all need to be informed. All right, because it's going to impact all of us, all right? That's one of the greatest issues to me in this fight, in this movement, but it's also on the ballot. They have already taken out equity out of DEI. Today's the VP. What's the VP's choice that Trump chose? Let's see who y'all paying attention. Who did Trump choose as his VP today? Who said Pence? No. Who? Okay, J.D. Vance, right. And does anybody know that he correlates to the DEI fight? All right. Teresa's awake with us, and Dominique too. They're gonna inform y'all. We need y'all to know exactly all this information, because this is important. And in order to understand what's going on, everybody needs to understand the full fight that's going on every level, and be able to spit it back in your dialect or your whatever way you do it, and tell your community so that you can get them agitated and annoyed about what's going on, so they can get outside with us. All right? Understood? Yes, say too. Say it again, who? Bill, the person, the DEI. Vance. J.D. Vance. Yes. 20 billion with a B. $20 billion. Right. So we should be present at that time. Right. Right, so he's basically one of Ackman's friend, one of Ackman's buddy, the billionaires that's pushing his DEI, the advocate. That's why we're outside 7 to 87 every week. That's who we're outside for. All right, we gotta break this down, y'all, so y'all understand the players of this. We're not just outside just screaming. All right, the last thing, who knows what freedom to learn is? Freedom to learn. You want to take a guess? Anybody? What does it sound like? Freedom to learn act? No? Yes. There you go. Education. Freedom to learn. So basically, it's the act basically around Black history, protecting Black history. That that has been proposed, but basically they've been pushing it back. They don't want us to learn. They want us to kick out Black history out. It's illegal to learn about that, apparently, and LGBTQI issues. So basically, National Action Network re-signed with 6 other organizations, the leading civil rights organizations in the country, during Essence Fest. Basically, they signed on to basically support that bill and to basically push that through. So I want you guys to read up on the Freedom to Learn Act so you understand basically that's one of the legislations that's on the table that we are pushing. National Network, this is from last year, and it's been pushed away. So now they're basically pushing it back, bringing it back as the election comes back. Okay, everyone understand that as far as policy? All right, I'm getting out the way, I'm sitting down, and I'm going back to Patrice. Thank you. Oh wait, last thing. So it's cancer season. Everybody remember Christian Matthews? No S. All right, so Christian Matthew, his birthday, he just celebrated. He just turned 19 years old. Let's clap him up. It was this past Thursday, and he is on campus. He is upstate, and he is situated. He will be back in 3 weeks, but I know he's watching, and I was looking forward to hear your response about what happened with the president this week, but I'll call you. All right, thank you. Patrice.
Come on, put your hands together again for our director and founder, none other than Ms. Ashley Sharpton. That was a lot of announcements that she had, but it was very crucial for you to hear what is actually going on. So right now, as always, every huddle, we have what we consider a Black History fact of the day. So I wonder what that Black History fact of the day is. And to tell us what that is our creative contributor again. Brother Danielle is gonna come up and give us a little bit of what happened on today, July 16th. I don't know what year, but he'll let you know. Please welcome Brother Daniel.
Amen. All right. The Black History fact I'm reading today is titled, This Day in Black History, July the 16th in the year 1862. Ida B. Wells Barnett, the African-American journalist, newspaper editor, and civil rights leader, was born. Ida B. Wells Barnett was one of the most outspoken leaders of the civil rights movement at the end of the 19th century and the 20th century. She was a staunch crusader against lynching. She was active in the women's rights and the women's suffrage movements and established a number of notable women's organizations. When a train conductor ordered Wells Barnett to give up her seat and move to the smoking car, she refused. 71 years before Rosa Parks showed similar resistance on a bus, the conductor and 2 men dragged her out of the car. When she returned to Memphis, she hired an African-American attorney to sue the railroad. From then on, she was active in civil rights. Wells Barnett became a public figure in Memphis when she wrote a newspaper article for The Living Way, a Black church weekly, about her treatment on the train. When her lawyer was paid off by the railroad, she hired a white attorney. She won her case later that year when the local circuit court, and that circuit, y'all, C-I-R-C-U-I-T, when the local circuit court granted her a $500 settlement. In the years that followed, she became well known as a journalist. She was the first Black woman to be a paid correspondent in Europe. Editor, that's what she was, y'all, and with her husband, newspaper owner Ferdinand L. Barnett. an earlier leader in the civil rights movement. She died in year 1931. So let's honor Ida B. Wells Barnett. That's our Black History Fact of the Day, y'all.
Thank you so much, Danielle, for that Black History Fact. How many of you knew that happened on today? You see, that's why we do Black History Facts, so you will know. I love it. Is everyone an updated member for the year of 2024? All right, so I guess the claps mean yes. If you're not, have you renewed your membership? This applies to you. The best way to stay informed and in the action is to become a member of NAN. You can stay informed about NAN events close to where you live. All you have to do is text the word justice to 59769 and your state. Text justice followed by your state and 59769, and they will send you some updates and let you know what's going on. Listen, we are in crucial times. This is the best moment to become a member of one of the leading civil rights organizations in this nation. Why wouldn't you want to be a member, right? So we encourage you to make sure you renew your membership. Now, this is the moment that we always love, and it's called Good News. This is when we allow you a moment to come up and tell us something that's happened to you. I know we didn't meet for like a week, so maybe something happened since the last time we met, and you want to tell us about it. Well, I'm going to start off with some good news. A 10-year-old black girl breaks the world record. She writes the longest novel with 58,000 words. Her name is Hepzibah Akaiwa, a 10-year-old black girl from the United States who just broke the world record at 10 years old. That's amazing. For the longest fiction book for children. So we wanted to give her a shout out. We love when young people are doing amazing things. So shout out to her. Hopefully one day we'll bump into her and have her come here at the National Action Network. So do we have any more good news that you want to come up and share? Remember, this is not announcement time. It's some news that's happened to you since the last time we saw you. If you're new to the audience, this is the moment where you can come up and just share something good that's happened to you. Just you want us all to know about. So this is the moment for you to do so. Don't everyone run up at once. You don't have to be scared. The mic works. We have a mic right there for you. We don't have not one piece of good news today. Now, I know that is impossible. All right, come on up, Alexis. Take this mic right here and let the world Huddle know that what's going on. What's some good news? Press it. Take it and press it, yeah. All right.
Hello.
Hi,
good evening. This week, there will be an opera in memory of Eric Garner.
Put it.
Oh, sorry. On the 19th, there will be an opera in memory of Eric Garner at Lincoln Center. It's with the Mama Foundation under Vi Higginson and Noel. So if anybody would be interested in come, it's a free event and it's outside. All you have to do is go on lincolncenter.org and register.
Nice, thank you. And what's the date? July 19th,
July
correct?
19th, Friday, yes.
Wonderful. If you want to be a part of that outside program, go and register. She's going to tell you the time in a moment.
It starts at 3 and it's also a free event.
So we encourage you to get there early. The weather's going to be nice, so it'll probably be packed. So try to get there early. Come up and share some good news with us.
I sell water, juices, and when I was in the Bronx, there was some young people coming off the train, and I gave them water. One of them said, "It was my birthday, miss." I said, "Happy birthday to you." Even when I'm selling my products down here in Harlem, when I see the young people passing by, and not all of them that have money, I still give water to them because they're not working. They may get allowance, but I give water out to them. Not just to them. Some people give me money back and I give out the water to them free.
That's wonderful. Thank you for giving back to our young people. Thank you so much. Come on, share some good news with us.
Good evening, Nan. It's evening, but it's light outside. It's not something. Long days. Friday, Nan has Commission on Men and Boys. Mental health. Men and boys, yes. And I got up the nerve to come up here and talk about the issue I'm dealing with my son and his mental health and how he's been acting out on me. And I didn't call the police because he was so erratic. He may have got shot. You know, but I almost don't want to go to sleep in my own house. So I told them that Friday, and Dr. Arthur Ashe, he's called me 3 times since then. And took my information, my son's information, and he said, I will follow this up. If they don't call you by Tuesday, you call me back.
That's wonderful.
So I'm really helpful. I'm not sure why I've been silent until then. Maybe that size forum maybe brought it out of me. So thanks, Reverend Al Sharpton and Nan, for having the forum.
That's amazing. Come share some good news with us.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
We're having a nice weather today, thank God. I'm a member of National Action Network, and I see what's going on here. So to help us help each other, I think we should have an anger management established so we can get along better. You know? I think it should happen because I don't know who's going to do the class or whatever, but I just hope one day we get it done.
That's good.
All right? God bless America.
That's a great idea, and we've noted that. Thank you so much. And it's something that's well needed. A lot of people are stressed out. You just don't know what people are going through, so that's a great idea. Thank you for that good news. Share some good news with us, sis.
Hi, Nan fam. Hi, Huddle. Happy
Hello.
Monday. I'm coming up here. I don't know if, well, I haven't been here in a little while, but I'm excited because on June 25th, I went with Nan to the UC Investments Way, downtown 50 Hudson Yard, and I got to meet some millionaires that's managing funds. I think the host, his name was Jagdeep, and he's managing like the $250 million pension fund for the school, University of California. So that was very inspirational, and it was exciting. And I saw some Nan family there. We took pictures, and it was cool, so I got to post the pictures. But I just want to thank Reverend Sharpton for the opportunity, because it's good. You know, when you're in school doing something, sometimes you get a little discouraged because it's like hard, and these finance classes are really hard. But it was good seeing someone down there, actually several people down there that are in the field, and they gave good words of encouragement. So I'm gonna encourage y'all because I was encouraged. So we all need to get into finance. So black dollars run this world, okay? Peace.
Thank you so much. And come on, put your hands together for everyone that had the courage to come up here with some good news, some good thoughts, some good vibes. That's what we here at the Huddle do. We celebrate you. So maybe someone that was shy tonight will get up next week and tell us some good news about yourselves. So here we are in our moments of, we call it our Did You Know segment. Just like you didn't know about Black History Month, there's going to be 3 articles read this evening. And we want to know, hey, did you know about that? So to start off our Did You Know segment is none other than our founder and director, Ashley Sharpton. She's going to come up and talk about DEI in the industry. The group drops the equity. She will explain all of that. So listen up. Please welcome again, Miss Ashley Sharpton.
Sorry. Got it? All right. Forgive me, the printer didn't print the whole article, so I'm going to read it from my phone, all right? Sorry. All right. Don't laugh at me, Damien. Sorry. I can't. Don't gas me. All right, and that article won't open, so we're going to talk about what happened on Friday. So, the National Action Network highlighted Friday what it calls an emergency within the black community. Mental health of black men and boys. The mental health of black men and boys. A candid discussion was held at Nan's House of Justice in Harlem. It's a national problem, Reverend Al Sharpton said. Friday's meeting was the first of what is hoped to be many more hosted by Nan. Not hoped for, it will be many more, just letting you all know. Who was here? Oh, wow, okay, that's more than, clap yourselves up. That's more than half the room. That's excellent. Okay, so Dr. Arthur Evans, who was just mentioned by Chaplain Jade, CEO of the American Psychological Association, says suicide rates among black adolescent boys is rising at a concerning rate. He first wants to see critical care more available in communities of color. The second thing is that we need to make sure that we can intervene at the earliest possible moment. And then thirdly, we need to be focused on prevention and making sure that we increase mental health literacy. Being a black man is super hard because we have to work twice as hard to get ahead, former NFL player Marcus Smith II said. Smith is also the founder of mental health organization Circle of M. He openly talks about his battle with anxiety that followed him from adolescence to his years as a professional athlete. At his lowest point 7 years ago, he says he attempted suicide twice in one day. Once I realized what I tried to do, that's when it hit me, like I wasn't gonna ask for help. I wasn't doing anything with therapy before then. Not asking for help is something he and other mental health advocates and doctors within the Commission on the Social Status of Black Men and Boys said has been the norm for men. I like to see a completely whole new face of medicine, Lawson President said. President was 18 years old, and he came from Washington, D.C. with the youth nonprofit Young Doctors Project. Let's clap them up real quick for those who were here. It was incredible to see them here. It was like 50 to 60 young black boys in their doctor's coats from Howard University that's majoring in medicine, in the School of Medicine. And it's a nonprofit Young Doctors Project, and they made sure that they were here for the event. And it was beautiful. It was 5 of them, maybe like 10 of them had questions, and they were provoking to me, but I'll let you guys talk about that. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay. President 18 came from Washington, D.C. with the youth nonprofit Young Doctors Project, aimed at changing the future face of medicine. He hopes to increase black male representation in the world of psychology after seeing the effects of mental health in his community and age group, especially after COVID, where it seems like mental health issues skyrocketed within teens with isolation. And I think now the stigma has been lowered, but it's not completely gone, President said. All right, so that's the end of the article. I was in the room, and of course I do social media, so it's hard to sometimes focus on what everybody is saying and respond. But it was good to see the engagement. It was good to hear the discussion on that level. Shout out to Emily Riley and Alicia Butler from our DC borough, who basically convened the entire thing here. Salute to you all. But I want to hear from the people that were here. I also want to hear from the men and boys in the room, black men and boys in the room, about this issue. It's not a new issue here at Huddle. We've had this discussion for a while now. I know See the God helped to bring this issue to the mainstream forefront for black men and a few others. And I think it's important, especially therapy. I know that's in a conversation that a lot of people push, especially in the black church. But I think it's important to talk about, and I think that was something discussed at the commission, at the hearing, excuse me. And that was the first time that ever happened, so that was historic for those who were here. But for black men, period, you are often spoken for. So like I said, I don't want to speak for you here today. What else can we do besides have these discussions, besides ask for resources? What can we do in conversations? The young lady said we need anger management. Of course, we need better conflict resolution. What can we do as a community on the day-to-day to help with our community as far as our mental health? Step on up. And I'll let the men please come first. Ladies, you're welcome, but I would like our men to come on and step up first with this, okay? Dan.
What comes to mind is just providing adequate spacing to accommodate the men's gathering, the young men's gathering with the seniors to that particular demographic, so that way it's comparable to what it is that an objective may be. Perhaps that would be to emphasize things like education, the importance of access to education, and pursuing one's passion as a career. while also instilling in those in younger generations the drive to do so.
You said making space.
Space.
Is that speaking less?
That's comparable.
What does that look like?
To me, I'm thinking skywrites. That could also be memory, like digital memory, cloud memory. But, taller, skyrise buildings dedicated to these types of safe spaces. When I say safe spaces, I want you to understand what I'm saying, because I know you mentioned things about resources not being a part of the answer. So I'm specifically being tactile with what I'm saying as far as physical spacing with up-to-date, cutting-edge technology to accommodate presentations that might be provided by those who have expertise in a particular field that they're passionate about.
Okay, got you. So better resources as far as technical and technological spaces, and to make sure the safe spaces are better, right? Or properly equipped, right? Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I think the biggest problem of all of them is not understanding gender differences. And the reason is because young boys and young girls are raised a certain way until the guys get to be about 7 years old, and then they're not allowed to get all emotional. You got to put your big boy pants on, stop acting like a girly man. So what happens is from 7 years old until we in the ground, we're taught non-verbally that we can only act 4 ways. 1, we could be funny. 2, we could be angry. 3, we could be flirty. Or 4, we put a mask on and don't show nothing, because otherwise we're gonna get in trouble. And the reason is because we are designed to be successful, to make things happen. And our biggest goal, desire, put into our DNA is to succeed. And y'all want us to succeed. Y'all happy when we succeed because y'all get what we get, right? And then our success makes y'all feel, women feel safe and secure. And we don't understand this as a race, as a species, really, except for a few people with different relationship expertise areas. So what I'm saying is we actually have to find ways to help men, boys, males, learn how to be successful without feeling threatened or threaten anyone else. In other words, what the lesson that needs to be in there is there's a difference between winning and success.
All right, Tony Veer.
The difference between winning and success is winning is I win. Success is we all win. And until we get that, we gonna have the same problem over and over again, expecting different results, like Albert Einstein said.
Awesome, awesome. Damien, take us home. Nothing for us, Ernest Waters? Nothing through the river, Waters? No? Okay.
Good evening, Huddle. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, good. I'm just going to come up and I'm going to ditto what these two brothers just said, Brother Daniel and Brother Tony just said. What she said was right on point. Really don't need to say much more except for the fact that those men who are in leadership positions, and I'm talking about in business, in churches, in organizations, in politics, really need to come back to the community or come to the community and reach out to the younger generation that's coming up, because my generation, I don't want to say that we're a lost generation, but at this point, if you ain't with it at this age, I'm not going to say we're not going to waste the time to try to convert and to educate individuals, because you're never too old to learn, and we need to continue to educate and continue to teach people so that hopefully that they will conform and assimilate to the way of life is now. But we really need to focus on the younger generation, because as you know, we're setting things up for the next 20 years, 25, 30 years. We're not just setting up for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So again, we need to do what these two brothers just said, reach out to the younger generation, hold them tight, and just keep on pushing.
Awesome. Thank you,
Love
Dick.
all.
Dark Angel. Mr. Arthur, Mo, Winston, JT, no commentary? All right, Laurier.
So,
Aaron?
did anybody see the rally Saturday that just passed? Okay, there was a guy that got up here. I don't know his name. He looked like Cool Breeze, but it wasn't him. But he said that you can't take medicine without God. And one of the things I've been noticing is, okay, I had to Google this real quick. Since the 1962 Supreme Court decision that took God out of school, we've had all kinds of other things in school, including guns. There's been more shootings and everything. So as far as mental health goes, I think, like even I've had issues. I've always been told, oh, don't be a crybaby because, you know, you look weak. So I have issues crying, right? So I do other things. But at the same time, if we are allowed to express ourselves without being ridiculed, I think that will eliminate a lot of the problems. I remember in my neighborhood on the block, everybody call me auntie, but makes me feel older, but that's okay. But I remember mediating two gentlemen that were just about to fight, and everybody in the neighborhood being mad at me because they wanted to see them fight. But at the same time, it's like, no, y'all gotta talk it out. Like, what's wrong? Y'all have to be able to express yourself without hitting, without violence. Because let me tell you something. These two kids, they'll fight. One feels like they got the upper hand. The other feels like he got the underhand. He'll go back, get a gun, come back, shoot. Mind you, he can't shoot, so he'll turn around and shoot somebody else in the neighborhood. I remember a lady got shot over here and killed. Another lady got shot in the neck. She was in the supermarket shopping, and the bullet came through the supermarket window. So it's like we have to be able to express ourselves and receive positive reaffirmations. One, we do express ourselves. That's part one. And then part two is we need to put God back in everything that we do.
Amen.
Because there's a reason Ephesians 6 says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers of darkness, against principalities. The more research I do, the more I realize how satanic this world is becoming. And that is why we're seeing the downfall of so much things. I tried to listen to my friend's son the other day rap, but he's a drill rapper. And I'm like, he want to roll up on the ops and pop him. And I'm like, okay, but what happens if you do that? What happens to his family? And what happens to the other crew that's down with that crew that's not going to come back? And then it's a never-ending cycle. And unfortunately, people are profiting off of this. And I feel it's all related to pulling God out of schools. When we pray to God and we have a connection with the ultimate creator, I think we handle things a little bit better. When we are disconnected is when we have a problem. And then there are things out there distracting us from having a good relationship with God because, oh, you look soft. Oh, you worship God, that's whack. No, it's not whack. So I think we need to redefine what's good and bad because right now you can't tell the difference. It's like people's opinions are more important than having a relationship with God, and we should not be catering to people's opinions, but we need to focus on really who we are, because once we find out who we really are, not who people tell us we are, but once we find out who we really are, a lot of these problems, these mental health issues will stop. And like the gentleman said on Saturday, you shouldn't be taking medicine without God. Pray. Prayer is not the answer to everything, because you have to pray and you have to act. You have to have faith, but you also have to do work. So I think we need to combine spirituality with medicine. That's it.
Amen. And you were talking about Pastor Kevin Dennis from St. Luke Baptist Church? Yeah, he talked about the Christian prescription for anxiety. And you killed that. Thank you. That was excellent what you just shared. Come on, Brother Waters. I knew you had something for us.
One of the things that we have to do is the people that's wise, that's all the people that's sitting here, the people that's wise, not be afraid to deal with younger people. Because what happens is, with us being wise, we're able to talk situations like the young lady just said. We're able to talk things down and make things rational. And what happens, we're so busy looking instead of talking. And a lot of times what happens, if we just say something, it could change the situation around. And a lot of people, instead of saying anything, they watch. If you're gonna watch, at least call the cops. Do something. Don't just sit there and watch the situation, because the situation could become a different situation with us watching it. And then if somebody should happen to pull out a gun, like the young lady said, anybody could get shot. The person that gets shot is never the person that the person is shooting at. It's always somebody else. And all of us in here is too young to be shot. All right? So if you see something jumping off, do something, say something. You know, like on the buses it says if you see something, say something. So all of us have a part in that. All of us. And hey, nobody, no exceptions. We all, and I'm guilty too, we all got to stand up and face the facts when it's a situation going down. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Sandra?
As women have been the leaders of the homes, and sometimes parents that don't understand what mental illness is from their children, because it was an episode with four of us, my mother, my twin, my brother, and my mother, against one person in the home. And he was stronger than us. Like even today, I had to tell a young man, calm down. What's the problem? He went to the side and took about 10 minutes, and then he went back into the building, because I seen the officer came out of the hospital and was watching him, but he calmed down. When I told him to calm down, don't get a radical. And he didn't say too much, he didn't say nothing to me, but I said it out to him to calm down and calm down. Even with myself, I don't need nobody agitating me. And when you agitate a person that I'm trying to stay calm in a place like this, please don't agitate me. Please don't.
Thank you.
Because it happens.
Thank you, sister. Bruce? Never know what anyone is dealing with. Okay.
Hello, everyone. About a month ago, I read an article about young people, it didn't give what age bracket, that they get depressed, and the number one issue for them was climate change. And I'll relate this to what's going on, is that all the news for young people is how bad it is. I know, because I read a lot of articles, it's improving. The technology, what's going on, is not talked about. And I don't know it from your experience, but I'm just imagining, thinking of people who believe that they're going to be attacked by police. In fact, there was a young person here when I was here, I don't know how many months ago or last year, was afraid when he got stopped, was shaking, because you expect the worst to happen. And that's why young people, in fact, you could relate it to why the young people are turning against the Democratic Party, because they don't see the solutions that I know are existing in climate change. So if there's no hope that the world will get better, that could lead to depressive thoughts.
Both parties. Thank you.
All right. How y'all doing? Okay. How you doing, Dan? I see the problem is that most people have taken God out of everything. That's not good. At the end of the day, he runs this. He's the creator. At the end of the day, when we do things like that, chaos comes into play. You cannot take God out of, it's good to put God in schools, because a lot of people think that, yes, I'm gonna go see a therapist, I'm gonna get some medication. Yeah, you could do that, but that's not gonna help all the way. You need God. People think that they could pick up weapons, knives, rocks, guns, and they feel like they can handle their problems. You can't handle your problems with those type of weapons. If you really want a weapon, your real weapon is actually prayer. If you pray, you can actually fix what problem is actually heading your way. You can actually prevent things from actually happening to you. I just want everybody to see my shirt. But look, also, if you feel that you could take God out of what's going on, God might get angry and just take you out. Heard what I said? I'm not a preacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm just telling you what's going on. These kids, some of them are growing up, and I be seeing them in the hood. I'm in East New York. They're cursing. A curse word is a curse. You say a bad word, you're cursing somebody. You don't know what you're doing to that person. A person could be doing good, and you say a curse word, and it just throws them off. You have to stop doing that and start blessing people. Healing, not killing and destroying people. Look at what just happened 2 days ago. Somebody thought that they could kill somebody with a gun. It ain't work. Heard what I said? You can't kill nobody with a gun or a knife if it ain't their time. You want to solve a problem? Get on your knees and pray. Read the Bible, but get a relationship with God. And then you will see your mentality start changing. You see the people around you start changing. Sometimes God will bring you around messy people, messy places, just to get the mess up off of you. You might be scared. Yeah, I don't want to be in this messy place. But I tell you what, the same way you feel like you don't want to be in a messy place, somebody else don't want to be in that messy place. And that person could have a different mentality, and they probably want to take whatever they see you about to get. But they not going to budge. Why? Because it's not up to their par. It's too messy for them to get involved. But he'll put you through there, and if you do it and you obey, you don't know what type of miracles you're going to get out that messy place. All right.
All right, Doc.
I can say more, but I'm not a preacher.
Yes, you are. You're just missing the
Reverend
collar, Doc.
Sharpton does that.
Come on, Minister Aaron.
Yeah, I'm keeping
All right, Minister Aaron, you did that. Thank you. Thank you. I think Mr. Arthur, he was just missing a mic. You got a speaker here, a leader here. Thank you.
All right.
Come on, Word.
Good day, everybody, and God bless everybody. Obviously, they took prayer out of school because there's a law, a separation of church and state. When that was challenged, of course they were going to win that. And there were many people upset and still upset. Prayer needs to be brought back in school. We just heard it tonight. Okay, it's not happening. Once it's out, it's going to take a whole lot of work to get it back in. However, there are church organizations in the neighborhood. So if somebody is really upset about prayer not being available to the young person or student, go to the church organization. Start filling them up. They're available. Now, obviously, church organizations are not being filled up either. So what's the deal? A person doesn't want to go to church organizations. where prayer is truly accepted and encouraged and inspired. It's not in the school. So what is the person going to do? Have people decided that they're upset that it's not in school, therefore they're not going to pray anywhere? No. People still can pray. You can pray in school. It's not going to be public, but you can sit at the desk and pray. The fact that it's not in school technically doesn't mean that every student can't be taught pray right there. And what they did include was meditation. They don't call it prayer anymore. It's meditation time. So, of course, a person can choose to meditate prayerfully. So the problem with school has nothing to do, in my opinion, of prayer being taken out. God is good everywhere. Prayer not being in school does not mean God is not good. God is still available, but we have to do the work. And that includes prayer. So pray wherever you are. I'm sitting right here praying now that I don't take that long to talk. I am doing that because I could talk. So I'm praying I get to the point and hurry up and move along. So you can pray anywhere, anytime, anywhere, on any subject. God is just available to us like that. But I want to quickly say, we're concerned with men and mental health and boys. Now, I was raised in Harlem. I also am college educated with a degree in teaching, and I taught in Harlem. But I also like to clean my neighborhood. I mean, you all know I like to clean. I was cleaning the parks. And my students who lived in my neighborhood would see me clean. So, this is for the men and boys and anybody else. One way to really help your mental health, because I know help mine, is to take care of your neighborhood.
Let's wrap that up. Good solution. Yeah.
That does a lot of work. That shows you care. You see trash on the ground, find a way to pick it up and dispose of it properly. Take care of your building. You see trash, clean it up. It does a lot for the mental. It shows a lot of care for yourself and for people in your neighborhood. That's my suggestion right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Word and Chaplain Jade. Let's keep it down to 2 minutes so we can wrap at 30. And David, I want you to come and give the final thoughts because you deal with this on the regular as far as church, mental health, black boys, and men. Please, come.
Friday, I saw, it was about 30 men and boys.
I thought it was like 50, but okay.
And one boy got up and talked, and he said he was a freshman in high school in that doctorate program. Yeah, 15. And I made it my business. I shook every one of their hands because I see in them what I saw in my son at that age. In high school, they send us 2 weeks to Miami for him to audition for a part in the movie. He was the man in high school. He was this, and so I put myself, reaching my hand out to them was my way of connecting with them, blessing them, wishing them the best, that they don't rear off, because my son reared off, lost his job for the Department of Probation. I don't know when or how it happened. I may have made mistakes as a mother. We are not perfect, but I wish those boys well. That was so good to see on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And sorry to put you on the spot, David. I'll set it up, though. But David Brown is not only my god brother, everybody has seen him growing up here at Nan. He served here. His mom is right there, Audra. Raise your hand, Auntie. She's a retired police officer, so that's a different experience. He's also a leader in our church, Canaan Baptist Church of Christ, where I grew up. And Treese, we met Treese and my mother and Alexis, all of us, so many from Canaan, where the chair of the board, the former chair of the board, the first one, Y.T. Walker, came from. And David literally met when he was 18 years old, and he was in a school with all boys, who dealt with a lot of emotions, a lot of things. And mental health was an issue in this school, but it was not an issue in America. Now it's like common. Everybody talk about mental health. Then, honestly, for myself, when I was in Hampton 10 years ago, that wasn't just talked about. So David has dealt with it on different levels throughout his entire life, but most recently, Canaan Baptist Church, the pastor is Thomas D. Johnson, and they recently found their son. Their son was almost, how old was he? 37 years old. They found him dead in the house. 37 years old, black boy. And that's a completely different, whatever he was dealing with alone is something else. But for the pastor to deal with that as a man. And then I asked David, I'm like, how is he going to come back? Like, how is he going to come and inspire the congregation and build the church from where it's at? Like, how is that even expected to do that? And he had to go and help the pastor. And I'm sorry for telling your business, but he had to go and help pack up the clothes and deal with that. And I'm like, how is David's mental health? Like, that's something that you have to think about. Because the pastor meant something to him, and he knew his son. So he was mourning, but you have to put that aside. So it's just so many parts of that, which is why I want you to come up and just talk about basically how you cope, and how you deal with basically being a black man in America, but also deal with the mental issues.
All right,
and you deal with young people, so also.
So they said,
and then I'm done, I'm sitting down.
I ain't gonna talk long, but y'all know I talk long. So we're gonna go back to when Ashley said 18 years old. So I had mental health, and we all have mental health, but I had mental health at 15 years old. I went to Catholic school. My mother always made sure I had the best, but it was a thing out there that I was seeking something, I'm going to be honest with you. My father was somewhere doing his own thing, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm going to keep you all real about me trying to stay afloat. So, every day I think, it's just my mother helped raising my grandmother, other people. My father's not in my life. Well, how do I cope with stuff, So every day I think about that. As we speak now, my father's blocked right now. My father called me a faggot. I'm going to keep it real with you because I'm a real person. Called me a faggot maybe a year and a half ago, you know what I'm saying? He wants things to be done on his time. So for me, regardless of what I like or what I do, you don't call your son that. And I'm letting you in my space right now, So it's hard for me. Yeah, my mother tells me, you got to let that go. I understand that, but you don't call your child that. You understand what I'm saying? We was trying to build a relationship. So now you want to took that relationship somewhere else because I don't want to speak to you. So every day I get up out my bed, my phone rings, It could be that number to tell me he gone. And that's what it is. He had a cancer scare. I don't know if it went away or not. And I seen him. Another thing, I seen him in Harlem maybe 2 years ago. I walked by him. Okay? I had shades on, I walked by. Because that diminished me as a man. You understand what I'm saying? Let alone what I went through without you. You here trying to come back, but you calling me names. You understand what I'm saying? So we going to push that away. So every day I get up, I'm trying to think like, what should I do? Father's Day, I send him a text, off block, I blocked him back. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't want that negativity. And the negativity is always something about my mother, this, that, and the other, what she did. Well, we can't go back to what happened back in the day. She was the only one there putting up with my nonsense. You understand? Because you wasn't there. You was with some other woman and had other kids. So we're going to keep it like that. So as I do that, every day is hard for me. So I'm in prayer now, trying to say what answer God can give me to reach back with my father and build a relationship, okay? So another story, my aunt just died. His sister just died. So my mother calls me last week and tells me that his sister died. My mother, as a strong one, is going to be supportive at the funeral whenever it is. Is David going to go there? No. David's not going to go to the funeral. My mother may not like that, but David's not going to go there. You know why David's not going? Because David's not going to take your mess. And I'm not going to hear you trying to say anything. And there's nothing to say. We not cool like that. So everybody knows that's my father, but I'll sit in the back and when it's time to go, I'll leave. Because there's no conversation for us to have until you apologize. You understand what I'm saying? Because right now, I'm a man. You understand what I'm saying? Regardless of what it is, what I like, what it is, I'm a man. So you're not going to do that to me. So we're going to push it back, like Ashley and Dominique said. When I was 18, I was in a situation trying to find myself, trying to find and be accepted as a man, trying not to get locked up and go to jail as the stigma is for a black man. You understand what I'm saying? So I got saved because my mother worked in law enforcement and because my aunt that died was a judge. So I kind of got saved. So when Ashley and Dominique met me, I was in a vulnerable position. I was up in a group home living with 30 boys in a house. I had went to Sparkle for a few days, but only because I had grace and mercy. That was God trying to tell me to redirect my energies and get what I had to do to get back together for me. You understand what I'm saying? So when they met me, I was in a vulnerable position because it was either, if I didn't get myself together, I was going to go back to jail. So when I met Ashley and Dominique, I came here to Nan. They had me with them every Saturday. You understand what I'm saying? And it kept me on the right track as a man, because if you don't have positive people in your life, you get backtracked. A lot of people in society get backtracked. Nowadays, I ask myself, why these young black brothers want to go back to jail? You come home, you do the right thing. What you want to go back to jail for? What is out? Why society? You can't be sustaining yourself out here in society that you got to go back to jail to go to tell somebody when to use the phone and when you could do what you want to do. Now, everybody has their own, I'm going to get gully right now. Everybody has their own superficial about being homo to stand in jail. If jail was such a homo place, why would you want to go back there to the place that you call homo? You understand what I'm saying? Or the place that's gay or whatever. Why would you want to go back to that facilitate and let that facilitate your mind? You understand what I'm saying? So when I came to Nan and seen Reverend Sharpton, it was always a message, you know. Sometimes the message felt like it hit me, sometimes it didn't, but it gave me that courage and that mental health to do stuff. So I made a vow to God that, so whenever you see David doing something, have an old lady or a chair or running around this and that doing something, me doing the missionary work, that's me, because I had a vow to God that if you bring me about this situation, I'm going to do what I got to do. You understand what I'm saying? So that was my vow. That was a promise that I had made to God to keep my mental health together. That if he got me out this situation, I'm going to honor you and obey you and respect you as a servant of you. You understand what I'm saying? So another thing that I feel like about is us as black, but we don't love ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We too busy worrying about what everybody else think about us instead of doing. Sometimes, you know, I walk outside. Maybe you shouldn't wear that. F that. Excuse me. My F that. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. You ain't going to tell me how to wear. So just men let society define them. You can't let society define you as a man. So when you see people, this is my stigma. You see people with these tattoos. I got tattoos too. When you see people come up their body trying to cover up something that you can't be yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You can't naturally glow and be you. You know, there's a natural beauty that people have. Some boys and girls have a natural beauty. You don't need eyelashes and makeup. Some people just have that natural glow about you. But you got to love yourself. I used to work in a school with kids. My passion is for kids because a lot of kids don't have the right group setting like this. Growing up, there was no Huddle. There was nobody where you could go. There was a psychologist, a white woman who's trying to tell you to live as a black person who don't know how it is to live as a black person. She ain't never been in the projects. I grew up in the project, but she never been in that atmosphere. She never been to Harlem, 145th Street, but she gonna tell you what to do to how to recorrect yourself. How does that work? How you live in Scarsdale? You telling me how to live in Manhattan and Brooklyn? You going home? How you telling me? So us as men, we have to love each other. And when I say love, and a lot of stuff that y'all do out here, love. No homo, no like pause. If you confident in yourself as a man, you shouldn't have to say no homo, no pause, okay? If I say I like beef sauces, I like beef sauces. I shouldn't have to say no homo, pause. I like beef sauces. I eat meat. If that's meat come from, everybody eats meat, it's beef. It's not, so why can't you respect yourself that you can't say certain things? What type of stuff is that you gotta tell yourself, oh, I can't say that around certain people? Okay. You understand? So I just want everybody, before I go, because you know I can go a lot.
Go on, Dad.
We gotta love ourselves and we gotta pick each other up as men. You understand what I'm saying? You have to love yourself. It's hard, but you gotta love yourself. You have to look at a positive influence, something that makes you hype and something that makes you want to be motivated. All right? Before I go, I have a single parent ministry that I have. I'm not a parent, but I was raised by a mother. And it was just me and her at times. So I have a haircutting program, what I do every year in book bag to give to kids in the community. Every parent cannot afford to give their child a haircut. So one of my goals is we give haircuts and we give hair braiding because some kids need a self-confidence. So the purpose of this program is when you go back to school, you have a self-initiative of who you are. You have a self-confidence in who you are. Oh, my haircut fly. I can go in school with some new clothes and I can have a productive year and I can have a successful year. Same thing for girls. I'm going to get your hair braided. It makes you feel better as a person. That little haircut could change your life. You understand what I'm saying? That box of cereal, that book bag could save your life. You understand what I'm saying? So us as men, we have to be positive with each other. If you're feeling down, you could talk to somebody. You understand what I'm saying? Seek help. There's nothing wrong with going to a psychologist and saying, I need help. There's nothing wrong. Men don't like to say, I need help. It's the ego thing. Bump the ego, get help. Talk to somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I need every man in here to do today. If you feeling some kind of way, speak to somebody. Look to somebody as a role model. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to give you a prime example. 5 o'clock in the morning, I follow Reverend Sharpton on Instagram. So I'm up when I couldn't sleep last night, as Ashley told you with the pastor. Now, pastor's 69 years old. I'm in my 30s. I called pastor on the phone. He called me, he breaking down crying. You know what I'm saying? As me, I'm not no deacon. I'm not nobody. But I'm his assistant. I'm the church clerk. So the Lord prepared me in these steps to go there and be with this man. You know what I'm saying? Now, the man couldn't do nothing. And I understood that because he lost his only son. You know what I'm saying? And it had me bitter. And I'm going to tell you because Ashley knows. I'm still in a state of mind where I'm in a dream because I'm in my 30s. And black men is not making it to their 30s no more. It changed. The game has changed. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, this man was a year older than me. Like, wow, how do we do this? Like, how am I, I'm thinking like, wow, am I going to be all right? You understand what I'm saying? So I had to hold this man up. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, but you can't think like that because when it's your time, it's your time. But there's steps in life that you have to go towards. But anyway, long story short, when I seen Reverend Sean on Instagram, it was about forgiveness that he was talking about. Forgiving people who done you wrong in the past. You understand? How do you do that? How do you forgive somebody, as I told you before, my father? How do you forgive that person? How do you let things go and say, make you a better person and move on with life? So as another thing, we have to let things go because that eats you up in the inside. You talking about a headache. You talking about stress. You talking about losing weight. That's that stuff eating you up in the inside. That's the devil eating you up. That's bad fruit. So we can't produce that. You have to let stuff go. You can't take your anger out. If you have anger, like I always say, why are these men so bitter? Why some of these men have more attitudes than some of these women out here? You understand what I'm saying? And I don't understand. Are you spicy and why? So we got to get to that. There's something at the bottom in the apple, in the seed. We got to get to that. So I'm going to leave that to you that we have to get to the root of this. Why are we so angry and bitter as black men? The gun is because you mad at somebody. That's why you shooting somebody because you mad. What you mad with somebody for? Somebody said something you wrong, you can't accept that? You got to take your gun out and shoot somebody? So I can't walk around Harlem now, so I'm supposed to to push you and not say nothing? You're going to pull out your gun? No, you're not going to disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? It's either going to be me or you, but you're not going to do that. That's the problem. Things ain't how it used to be in the back. Everybody has to prove a point. You don't always have to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? Because when you prove a point, you go to jail. Then there's no point to prove. There's no point to prove when you're in jail. And somebody's telling you who to use the phone and when to get your meal. So I'm going to let you know on that note. Seek help and love one another. Thank you.
All right, D. Seek help, love one another, service. Put yourself in the right spaces, surround yourself with good mentors. He said a lot. He said a mouthful. I apologize for certain things. Homo, the phrases, he liked to apologize for that. He was passionate. But he talked about a lot of things that are necessary. And obviously, we need to have more conversations about mental health in black boys and black men, but just issues that, it's the state of black men, period. The state of black boys, period. And certain things that you talked about with his father, that's an issue, a major issue in our communities. Just it's so much you touch that we have to engage upon. But thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for sharing. And thank y'all for listening and keeping this a safe space for all of us. All right? I'm going to turn back the time. Sorry for going over.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for your Did You Know? And woo, do we know? That was deep. Got to take a woosah on that one. I was over there trying to get my Did You Know together. I'm like, now, wait a minute. But as you know, that's why we're here, to encourage and uplift and be better than when we came in the door. So when we go out, you should see a change somehow, some way, every Huddle Monday. That's why we're here. So I'm going to ask one person, what is Wednesday? 717. What commemorates on this Wednesday? Let's see who knows. Someone, go ahead. I saw Ernest's hand up. There you go. This Wednesday. And it's also someone else, I'm going to give you another jump on, but we're going to show a video. And then after the video, I'm going to come back, because it's also the 10th anniversary of Michael Brown also. So we're going to watch a little clip, and I'll be back up with some commentary. So, yeah, I know the people say, I know we've magnified here. We've shut down D.C. We shut down Staten Island for Eric Garner. But let's not forget Michael Brown, Leslie McSpadden, his mom. She's doing some stuff out there to keep his name alive also. And I know that 10 years, right? 2014. Everybody remember the video? Remember the family was right here on this stage. God rest Erica and the stepfather and everything. But we're going to show you a quick clip, and then I'm coming back up to talk to you a little bit more about it.
Hold on. Don't touch him, please. Girl came over, gave us a bag, gave us shit. Damn, man. Stop. Give your hand, buddy. Put your hand behind your back. I can't breathe.
So many people in the city are feeling pain right now. And we're grieving.
How could we put our trust in the justice system when they fail us like this?
In a statement, the officer accused of applying the chokehold, Daniel Pantaleo, writes, "I feel very bad about the death of Mr. Garner.
The time for remorse would have been when my husband was yelling to breathe."
He was murdered. The grand jury has found the evidence is just not there.
Not to indict.
Refuse to indict.
No indictment.
No indictment.
Thank you, Mrs. Garner, for coming in. I appreciate it. We wanted to have the opportunity to just go over some of the charges that we're prepared to go forward on. Strangulation in the first degree, and that's obvious because that's exactly what happened.
Here's what happens next.
Yeah, that was my next question. What's next?
You have to get arrested.
It's not first-degree murder, it's not second-degree murder, but it's certainly reckless manslaughter.
And what was he doing?
Selling cigarettes.
Objection.
Do you need some time?
This is a little much for me. It's a lot.
I don't talk to cops, don't mess with cops.
I was always told the policeman is always right.
How would you describe Eric Garner's medical condition?
Significant medical disease, almost like a ticking bomb.
In the report, it says acute asthma. It does not say acute asthma attack, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sit down, Mr. Brown.
Do you think I should testify?
It's the hardest decision any criminal defense lawyer ever has to make.
The defense calls Officer Daniel Pantaleo.
If we lose, is it over after that?
Mr. Pantaleo, will you please stand? Has the jury reached a verdict? Yes, we have, Your Honor. What is your verdict?
I know that was a little deep, but that was a gentleman who came here and met the Garner family at the National Action Network, and he decided to put on a documentary called American Trial. He was here for weeks interviewing and working with them. Some of what you saw was a mock trial of the actual what happened. But that is a movie that's out, so we'll let you know how to watch it if you want to, but it's deep. Still fighting for justice, Eric Garner's mother reflects on 10 years since his death. Wednesday will mark 10 years since the death of Eric Garner at the hands of NYPD officers on Staten Island. His mother, Gwen Carr, is still looking to keep his memory alive. Garner died in 2014 during an arrest for selling loose cigarettes. The incident was captured on cell phone video. You can hear him saying 11 times that I cannot breathe before he died. The former NYPD officer, Daniel Pantaleo, who used a banned chokehold on Garner, was fired in August 2019, more than 5 years after Garner's death. But Gwen Carr says she's still seeking justice for her son. Pantaleo was fired. That was a step in the right direction. But there was other officers who were involved in my son's death that day, and I think they should be fired also. But there was no action, no court date. The only thing that we got a call, we got a hearing, but it was made clear to me that those officers was not going to face any penalties. which I think is so unfair, and Pantaleo being fired with no criminal charges. That's absurd. Reflecting on 10 years since Garner's death, Carr still suffers from the pain of her loss. I have my good days, I have my dark days. I try to think of the good times, the times we did together, his birthday, Christmas, because those are the things that he really liked to celebrate. His children, she added. Over the past decade, Carr has taken on an active role in fighting for police reform and has worked to educate the next generation. Keeping Eric's name available and relevant is her goal. I think that's important because with his children and his grandchildren basically grow up, they were too young to understand what happened to their grandfather. So the story would have to be told. Once they understand, we want to let them know how we fought, said Carr. Now this is Michael Brown's mother. When people ask me if I feel anything has changed, my reply is nothing, said Leslie McSpadden. I've not seen the change that needs to happen for me as a black woman with black children and a black family. We're still all talking about 400 years ago, 200 years ago, 100 years ago, 10 years ago. Still nothing has gotten better. We still have no justice, she went on. We still have police brutality happening all over this country. We still have that line drawn in the sand between black and white. We still have controversial politicians. When will we actually take accountability? And after 10 years, I'm exhausted. Ms. Carr also echoed what she was feeling, that when the system meant to grant access, all mothers like her and McFadden could do, all they could do is press on, try to uplift each other and every individual. Because in the decade since, there have been more than 6,500 people of color killed at the hands of police. Tanisha Anderson, Tamir Rice, Freddie Gray, Atina Jefferson, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Pamela Turner, Ahmaud Arbery, and countless more names that some say is a sorrowful fabric. Each name, each life, a haunting attestation to the fact that the needle of progress moves slowly when it comes to social equality. Yet another reminder that the suffering of others in society has no limit. In America, the cries, the echo without resolution. At what point is enough enough? At what point does parity prevail? This is from two mothers who still have to relive. And as you know, on Wednesday, I'm sure they're going to keep playing and playing and playing. Reliving and reliving and reliving. We ask you to continue to keep the Garner family in your prayers. And I know a lot of us were at that fight from the beginning, as Mother Gwen Carr sits here basically every Saturday. Y'all who come to the rally, y'all see her, she's up here still fighting for justice. No matter what, when they said he wasn't indicted, as you saw the clip, she still was here. She's still out here fighting. So was her grandkids. So is everyone on that side of the family. And I know that Emerald probably had one of her interns here today. Are you here, darling? She didn't make it, but she had an intern to come and represent because she couldn't make it today. Okay. But she wanted to have us give an announcement in lieu of the 10th anniversary. She had a special offer that she have a few seats to go to DC on July 18th of this week. But we will let you know once she comes back in if that's something that you wanted to do. I know that the bus is leaving from 93rd Street, but we will give you all of that information once we see who's interested in going. And that is her celebration in lieu of her dad on 7/17. So I just want to see how many people were part of any like marches or demonstrations that we did for Eric Garner. Do you mind coming up just to share what your experience was and what did you attend? And you know, I know we running short, but I would say half a second for everyone. If you want to come up and kind of tell us why is it that you felt compelled to be a part of whatever demonstration that you were a part of. And I think I just announced the young lady. Sukana? Did I mess up the name? Sukna? Hi, Sukna, can you come up for a moment? So we're talking about the 10th anniversary of Eric Garner. And Emerald Garner said that you would be present this evening. And it's Sukna, right? Okay, so Sukna is an intern with Emerald. And what they're doing is sponsoring about 10 seats that they will have going to, you want to tell us a little bit about it? Okay, because I was looking at the same email. Okay, I can tell you about it. So basically there's 10 seats on July 18th of this week, going to DC to visit the African American History and Cultural Museum. Now, these seats are for Huddle participants. No one, Huddle participants under 18 must travel with someone. So you will have to travel with a parent. Unfortunately, we don't have chaperones for you. But if you are interested in going, it is a trip that we're not charging for, but she'll let you know what time you would need to be there. And before you leave today, she can get your information. But again, she's just going to tell you who she is really quickly, and then we're going to move on. Thank you for being present. We welcome you to the Huddle.
Hi, you guys. My name is Sukna, and I am an intern at We Can't Breathe, and I'm working with Emerald Garner, and I actually just started today, so I'm like, yes. That's good. Yes, and I'm learning so much about our culture and the brutality that we're going through, and it's very touching. And it hurts, even like watching the video. I was like doing some researches before I came over here, and it really like touches my heart because I can't imagine somebody going through that type of pain. So yeah, so I guess us being here is kind of making a change, right? That's right.
So thank you so much. So you're going to be around for a few more moments so they can sign up with you. So anyone interested in going, she'll give you the details, what time, and all of that information that you need so you can talk to her right when we go to the dinner break. And again, thank you for being present. Thank you so much. If you want to get a couple of people just to share your thoughts on what did you go to? Did you go to DC? Did you go to Staten Island? You can use the mic there. Let us know what did you do and why you felt compelled to do it.
All right, I went to an event on Staten Island. I went to an event in Brooklyn that was held in the church building. And I went to a Brooklyn Park celebration, all in memoriam of Eric Garner. And the reason I did go is because first we were invited, and I wanted to support Gwen Carr, the mother, who really depends on some of us attending and supporting her need for support. And I wanted to contribute my support for her. I just, as an aside, I want to also show that the mother, Gwen Carr, to really still be in this literally a public fight for police brutality to stop with other people. That shows a deep passion that I really have in my own self. I've never experienced, but every time I see that video, or every time I see her speaking, or any other mothers, I get emotional and I cry for this to be still happening. And the laws are not put in place for it not to happen. We have to stay supportive of this family of people who really want to protect us from that ever happening to us. So that's why I participate. This is another side. Because Gwen Carr is who she is, and who she decided to affiliate herself with, National Action Network. There is now a New York State law. The Eric Garner is named after her son. The chokehold is illegal in New York State.
And with the push of Reverend Sharpton, of course, and National Action Network.
That needs to always be included, at least it's included in my thoughts. Because even though I get emotionally destroyed over and over and over again, really, every year, maybe throughout the year, I'll think on this. But the uplifting part is there's a law named after him that protects us still. So we still got more work to do, but that's why I'm participating with Sister Gwen Carr.
Thank you so much. Come up, share your thoughts. Tell us what demonstration you went to and why you felt compelled to be there.
So in 2014, we all went to Staten Island, and we even ended up going to DC. And I remember being frustrated then, and I'm still even more frustrated now, because I was watching Rev give the eulogy when thanks to Instagram Live, but I was watching Rev give the eulogy at this young man, Devontae, his funeral. I gotta make my post. All right, but I actually sat there just now and I Googled something because I'm confused. So lynching, the first black man was lynched in 1835 because he killed two people, because he killed two cops, right? That's in Wikipedia. The problem I have with lynching is that if you saw any of the pictures back in the days, it was a black person being lynched and a mob of white people around cheering it on. When George Floyd was killed in 2020, I remember posting, I'm never posting about this stuff again. And then 2 days later or 3 days later, I saw that I had no choice but to post about it because it's ridiculous. The problem with Eric Garner's case and so many others is that there are people out there who enjoy watching the public lynching of black people, and that's why we don't see any changes, because these are the people in power, unfortunately. So we have to take our power back somehow. You know me, it's always financially, because I keep saying until we control our finances, we will be begging for justice all the time. We still buy their stuff, we still spend their money. Now, I remember being here in 2014, and there was, because this also goes back to mental health, okay? I remember being here in 2014, and there was a young man, he was in here, he started acting up, he got kicked out. And I remember standing outside watching, let me see what he's gonna do, but he was in here yelling, and then they escorted him out. But I felt his energy, and I said, uh-oh, somebody's about to do something because we're tired of the injustice. And what do you know? That man in Brooklyn, he ambushed and shot 2 police officers. So now this is all in 2014. You understand? So the sentiment is still there, and it's affecting mental health. Imagine, I don't see Jewish people getting lynched. I don't see Chinese people getting lynched. I don't see Russians getting lynched. I don't see really any other minority getting lynched the way we get lynched. So now it begs the question, why target us? What is so special about us that we get publicly lynched and the officers, like you can clearly see that was murder. Clearly. For selling cigarettes? I mean, really, and really, he was breaking up a fight, as the real story goes. He was breaking up a fight between 2 people, and that's how one of the friends filmed it.
That was the first film video
Yeah.
that they ever, and you couldn't deny it. It's on tape.
And like I said, this stuff affects our mental health. I was gonna say something, I can't remember, but and here again, let me show you, let me connect dots for you. Erica Garner, that was her father. The stress of that, fighting. Like this job that Rev does is hard. I dip in and out. I can't be here like that because I'm sensitive and I'm an empath, and it's very hard on the psyche, on the brain, to every time you meeting somebody, oh, they're not famous. They went through a traumatic situation. I remember Erica came here, Emerald came here, the other sister, Eric Garner Jr.
His sister, Alicia.
Alicia, yeah, they all come here. And sometimes people, oh, that's Eric Garner's daughter, yeah. No, that's nothing, they're not famous. They went through trauma. And I can't imagine the toll, well, as you see with Erica, she was gone, I think she died in 2018. And the funeral was at 1 Corinthians. This stuff affects the mental health of not just the family, but every black person watching that. You could be next. So until we get some serious laws and power, okay. When Chinese people were being persecuted after COVID, they came up with a whole Chinese law about how you can't abuse them. When do we get our law? When is it going to be illegal to lynch a black person? Because that's when the difference is going to be made. These people need to go to jail. And, oh, that's what I was going to say. Watching George Floyd, I remember there was an article I read where this white man was like, yes, I found it enlightening and thrilling. He probably deserved it. And these are how these people think, and they run the country. They're not going to change the laws until we do something. Not like the gentleman did in December that same year, 2014. You understand? Not like that. You don't respond to violence with violence. But we do need a resolution.
Thank you.
That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you so much. We're going to have Aaron and then Damo, and then I'm going to wrap it up, and we're going to be done with our Did You Know today. Come on, Aaron.
I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I've tried, but being a victim to police brutality, it brought me back to what happened to me. I'm not going to put this on me. I'm going to leave it on Eric Garner, but I definitely did try to make it to the march. I've been here 12 years ago when I was young. Unfortunately, I got locked up because of a lie. Police beat me up, choked me, put their knee on my neck, and then to defend themselves, they said, I hit them. They turned it on me. It was my word versus their word. That's what they do. They feel like they got so much power to take a life or to harm you that at the end of the day, they're going to say that it was your fault. It don't take 5 men to take down a man that can't breathe. If you're not with us, you against us. You sitting there just watching this man choke him out, you might as well join in. All y'all guilty. That's how I feel. You don't do that to somebody. That's wrong. That's a sin. You think that you're going to just commit a murder and then think that you're going to just be living? There's people out there that's not having that. Reverend Al Sharpton, the most powerful man I know, done touched more black people than anybody I know. And he's still going. What that's doing to his soul, it hurts. It hurts him bad. I know it does because I can't even do that. Who knows how it feels to lose a son? Nobody in here. You can't tell a woman nothing after she done lost a son. Of course she gonna keep fighting for justice. Not just for her son. Everybody's her son now. Because it's gonna keep on going if we don't do nothing about it. And who's doing something about it? Rev. He putting his neck out there. What's up? I'm ready to fight the people that just try to kill my son. I'm ready to fight you. I put my neck out there on the line so this won't happen again. It ain't right. It's not right how they got so much power to do this to us, and it make it seem like it's our fault. That's no justice. You don't choke somebody out because they trying to stop a fight and you feel like they aggressive. Oh, they big, so let's all 5 of us jump on them. That ain't right. That just ain't right.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much.
I'm not done. Sometimes it's sad to say this, but sometimes they gotta feel it too. And I don't like to go to war, but that was the old me. The old me ain't having that. Now I still ain't having it, but my weapons is totally different. I pray about things like that. I'm gonna tell you what. I pray that she eventually can heal. Sometimes you gotta give people time to heal, and sometimes it ain't enough time in the world to heal after you lose a son. I really don't know how it is to lose a son, but I know how it is to lose a mother. It's the same. It might not be the same because I ain't create, but to take something I created, we have a problem. And for Glenn Carr to continue with the fight shows strength. Because a lot of people would just be like, you know what? We're doomed. But she sees something in us to continue on fighting. And I really wish I did not get locked up. That changed my life a lot. Like, I had a lot of good things going for me here. Now it's like, I never was here before. I was here. But it took for them to take me out of a good place, to put me in a dark place. Now, I don't trust them. I don't like law enforcement at all. I don't know if that's ever going to change. I try my best to stay away.
Thank you, Aaron. I got to wrap you up. But thank you for being very passionate.
All right.
And I just want everyone to
I love
understand
y'all. Keep the faith and make sure
that those are the thoughts
don't
and
become
viewpoints
victims of the police
Aaron.
brutality.
Right. Thank you so much for being very passionate about that. Dom, I'm going to ask you to come up and share.
All right, I'm gonna be brief. Thank you, Patrice. I know the hour's late. So I remember I was in the room when Reverend Sharpton got the call about Eric Garner. One of his family members had called the House of Justice. I'll just leave it there. Y'all know the family member, but I'll leave it there. Family member called the House of Justice, stating that their loved one was, placed in a chokehold, literally, and died. And it was on video. We were like, video? Wait, what? Rev is like, okay, all right, let's see the video. So it was probably maybe an hour later where, first of all, we couldn't get in touch with the witness, right? So they started messing with the witness, the person who video recorded the incident, Daniel Ortiz. Started messing with Ortiz, right? So we had somebody checking on that, what was going on with that. They was harassing him, trying to put him out to be this low-life criminal in the media, trying to discredit basically the fact that he recorded this incident. So we knew we had an uphill battle from the beginning, from the first hour of hearing about what happened to Eric Garner. Immediately after Reverend Sharpton got the story, spoke to the family, determined that they wanted to proceed forward with making this, vocalizing it, because at that time, no officers involved in the situation had been arrested, had been questioned, nothing, right? Nothing happened. They were just going on about their merry day. Reverend Sharpton immediately called a meeting with all of the community leaders, elected officials, the mayor at the time, everybody. We went downtown. I think it was like City Hall, somewhere like that. We went and had a meeting. In the meeting, you know, Reverend Sharpton spoke. There was maybe like, I would say 40 to 50 community leaders that were outraged. People getting up, doing press conferences in the middle of the day talking about this incident, right? So they all convene. We decide, Reverend Sharpton is like, all right, if we don't see anything happening in terms of the officers involved, because remember, this is a strategy. We're all mad, but we're all getting out to fight and vocalize and amplify the situation to reach a certain goal. And the problem was nobody was being held accountable for what happened to this man, and we seen it on video. Then the video starts getting released, circulated, shared, viral, as the young people say. It's just going on and on and on and on. We can't sleep without seeing this video all over the news. Nothing happened with the police officers. Still nothing. Not even brought in for questioning. All right? And this is days later. So finally, Reverend Sharpton decides, well, we're going to go to the place where Eric Garner took his last breath. And in the video, Eric Garner kept repeating, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. This whole city was on outrage. Reverend Sharpton said, we're not going to let a week go by. That Saturday, we had the House of Justice rally. We all got up after the House of Justice, got on buses. We went over to the site where Eric Garner took his last breath. I would say probably 20,000 people, if not more, about 20,000 people, right? I did the program. It was about 60 speakers, a lot of speakers that day, right? I'm representing so-and-so organization. I'm representing Umbawa Black Power Coalition. I'm doing this, I'm that, right? Everybody outside with these coalitions, with these groups, you know, we going, and then the question became, oh, we going to dismantle Reverend Al's too old. You standing up there. We the new people. We the ones that, you know, being out in the streets. We the ones that doing X, Y, Z. We deserve this spotlight, right? Reverend Al, sit down. We got this. Okay, Reverend Al keeps going on, right? Still no kind of charges, no kind of questioning happening with the police officers, but everybody's outside getting a piece of the spotlight, right? What I got to say. So now we get 2 weeks now. Reverend Sharpton is still constantly meeting with what's going on with the DA's office, what's going on with the prosecutor, why is there not a special prosecutor in the event that you can't determine that charges need to be made? Where's there a special prosecutor to come in and say, okay, I see that y'all may have some biases here in the department. Let me come in and take over this investigation. So it took strategy, okay, to get us to even to an arrest, right? Even to have a trial, even to have a point where they say, okay, something happened here. We need to deal with this, right? There was weeks of this, right? To the point where, we saw Esau, his widow, come here crying on national television. This happened to their loved one. And we couldn't justify why there were no arrests, no questions asked to any of the police officers involved. So it took strategy. Reverend Sharpton, we took to the streets. We were marching every day sometimes, going up to Staten Island, going down to City Hall, marching through the streets, saying we need to arrest these cops. So finally, we did get a special prosecutor, right? And that was precedent for the city because they had never seen that happen before, right? Now, months later, in Ferguson, Missouri, this situation happened with Michael Brown the same year, right? And all over the world, Black Lives Matter erupted. It even became an official organization. Black Lives Matter is the new movement, the new civil rights movement. We're going to dismantle Reverend Al, Jesse Jackson. They need to sit down. They need to sit down because we the new ones in charge. We the ones that, you know, we've been waiting for. Okay, great. Fast forward 10 years later, I'm sorry, where's Black Lives Matter? My bad. Love y'all. Worked with y'all. Stood out in the trenches with y'all. Was in Ferguson. Can't tell me I was not. Definitely was. But what I'm trying to get at is that National Action Network is still here. Reverend Al Sharpton is still on the case. We're still being confronted by these issues every single day. And I'm not trying to say and take credit away from anybody in their work, any young person that ever felt outraged, that wanted to speak out and got the platform to do so. We salute you and support you. We hope you come back to the movement because we need you in this movement. We need you in this fight. We still got a lot of work to do, but we don't see you anymore. okay? And so 10 years later, we're standing here at National Action Network Youth Huddle. Nana's Youth Huddle is 10 years old as well. And we're saying that we want to revive this and amplify the fact that Eric Garner still exists today. Eric Garner still lives in our hearts, in our lives, and definitely in our movement. And if we don't continue to stand up for the Eric Garners of the world, no one is going to stand up for the Eric Garners of the world. So we have to make sure, if it's 10 years, if it's 20 years, if it's 15 minutes, whatever we have to do to amplify that our lives matter, that our black babies' lives matter, that our black sons and daughters' lives matter, we're going to continue to convene at Huddle. We're going to continue to push out to get out to vote because we need laws. We need to make sure that, okay, the body cameras that police officers are wearing now, guess where it came from? Eric Garner. Eric Garner set the precedent. It was because black and brown bodies got in the streets and called for justice. That is why we see that. So don't think young people, oh, what are y'all doing demonstrating? Why y'all getting out in the street marching? That don't do nothing. No, it does do something. We have to stay at it. We have to continue to be involved because we have seen progress happen. But we know that we still have a lot more work to do. So in the name of Eric Garner, 10 years later, we're going to continue to hold up the name, but we're also going to continue to do our part, which is voting. Pushing for policies to change, making sure that we are aware of what is going on in our community and what we can do to help amplify and make things change necessary that we want to see. So I know that y'all are all with me because y'all are all here at Huddle. And we want to thank, of course, our mothers of the movement. Gwen Carr, we see her every Saturday, all the time. So it's no question of the fact that she's involved, and we're going to continue to stand for her and stand with her. So I don't want to see 10 people out there on Wednesday with us. I want to see a mob. I want to see a mob like we had 10 years ago because the fight continues. So thank you.
Woo. All right, Dominique, drops mic. So there, as Dominique said, woo, that was heavy, child. Wait a minute. That was heavy. So Wednesday, there will be a bus leaving from here at the House of Justice at 11 o'clock to take people to celebrate. Yeah, y'all can clap that up. Reverend Sharpton and Nan have provided a bus. They'll be leaving at 11 o'clock, so I would say get here about 10:30. Now, if this is something that you want to do, because we don't want to hold up seats, at the end, I'm going to get a list, your name and a phone number. You must have a name and a phone number so we can give it to Ron to let Ms. Gwen know that you're coming to support her. So basically, you're going to go, there's going to be a march from where you get out in Staten Island to 202 Bay Street, where everything happened, and then there's going to be like a cookout and some festivities at the end. But the main reason is to let the world know that we're still out here. As Dominique said, National Action Network is still with Gwen Carr and the family. When the cameras go off, Nan is still here every Saturday, each and every Saturday. So we continue to ask you, especially on 7/17, even in your morning meditation, your prayer, however you talk to the higher power, call the name of the Garner family. They're all going through something, trying to raise, Emerald's raising those kids, Erica's kids. They're so big now. They're going to be here soon again. But you remember, like the article said, at some point she's going to have to sit them all down and explain to them what happened to their grandfather because they were too young to know, right? So that's a whole nother conversation. But continue to keep them in your prayers. Prayer definitely works. It changes people and it changes things. So we want to continue to uplift the Garner family. Again, if you want to be a part of the commemoration on Wednesday, please, before you leave, name and an active phone number so they can reach out to you and give you some more details. Again, we thank you for joining us here at the Huddle each and every Monday. Continue to keep Kathy Jordan Sharpton in your prayers as God continues to heal her. We do miss her, but we do thank the team in the back that's here filling in, Miss Audrey, David, Alexis. We thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All hearts and minds are clear. We're going to ask everyone to stand up. Oh, and next Thursday is our legal night. The last Thursday of the month, we will be here, and we will continue to start at our time at 7 o'clock. We changed the time in June because of a lot going on, but we will be here at 7 o'clock next Thursday. So if you have a legal issue, someone needs help with an attorney, please make your way here. here at 7 o'clock. 6 o'clock, the doors will be open. You could be a part of it. Our hearts and minds are clear. Thank you, JT. Thank you, Mr. Gilchrist, for making sure we stay up and alive and up and running. So, if everyone can be still as we talk to the Lord, and then we end this huddle. God, we thank you for this night. We thank you for this day. We thank you for each and every person under the sound of my voice. Continue to be with us. Continue to walk with us. Even in that midnight hour, we can't talk to no one else. Help us to be able to talk to you. We ask you to bless us, God, that when we get to our homes, it's just like we left it. Continue to be with us no matter what. We thank you for our founding director, our vice president and director, Ashley Sharpton, Dominique Sharpton. Thank you for the Sharpton family. Thank you for continuing to heal Kathy Jordan Sharpton. And this we ask in nothing but your matchless name. And all of your children said, amen. God bless you. Be well. And yeah.
All right. Can Patrice please stay up here with me? Is Mo Bars here? Lorianne, come to the front. Any more Cancerians? Anybody else born this month? You born this month? If not, don't not come up here. Lorianne, Patrice, Mo, Cancers. Come up to the front, please. We want to celebrate your birthday. It's your birthday? Yeah, good. Come on up. Patrice is one of our founding members. If you've been here since the beginning, December 11, 2013, she was our original host. We love her dearly. We can't do much without her. And she has grown from being one of the Huddle volunteers to being one of our leads down in the corporate office. She assists Attorney Michael Hardy, who is our executive vice president. And we love you dearly, Trish. You know, couldn't do much without you. Mo Bars I don't know if he left. He was here. Mo Bars was one of our advisors, one of our lead advisors, and he's done a lot of work here, creativity. We love you, Mo. We thank you. We stand on your shoulders. A lot of people have poured into Huddle, and we get our names called. Dominique and Ashley get our names called a lot, but it's so many of us. Without y'all, there would be no Nan Youth Huddle. So thank y'all so much for all you do. Lorianne is one of the original members. She is not only just one of the original, she's my big sister, just like Patrice, but she is vicious on the mic. She has incredible skills. She's a rapper, Dark Angel, but she's also ridiculously, her mind is incredible, and she challenges things. She came into Huddle, challenged so much with me. She pushed the envelope and she made us think. She challenged Trees. Finances she's always spitting that. So thank you for pouring into us. Thank you for sacrificing your time, and just even with your own personal health battles, you put it to the side, and you came down that hill. And I thank you, because sometimes you coming through that door was enough to make us keep going. So thank you so much for all you do. You, young man. Thank you. I know you're quiet, and I know you came in last year with your mom, but I thank you for your contributions. I thank you for coming with your joy, with your simple answers. You come, you contribute when you want to, but you're consistent, and you believe in it because you keep coming. So I thank you. I thank your mother for bringing you to this place, and helping to make this a safe space for us. So thank you for your contributions as well. Any other Cancerians? Sister, thank you. I don't know your name, so what's your name? Lenora Ashford. All right, Queen. I am the member of National Action. All right, Queen, we salute you. We wish you a happy birthday. The 13th. TV, are you a Cancerian? No. Christian, I know you're watching. Happy birthday, Christian Matthew. We love you. We thank you. Happy birthday, Attorney Hardy. We celebrated him on Saturday. Everybody else, happy birthday. Thank you. Are you a Cancer? You up here? Carolyn? It's your birthday? Oh, you came to celebrate. Okay, so you want to celebrate Trees. All right, we love y'all. We thank y'all. Dan, you want to leave happy birthday? Okay, no. Come on, Dan.
All right, I don't think we're going to sing happy birthday the regular way. The black version? How'd that go? Come on. All right, on the count of 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh.
Patrice's birthday is Sunday. Mo's birthday is Saturday. So if you see Mo Saturday, make sure you tell him happy birthday. There you go. Thank you. We love y'all. All right, get your food. Thank y'all.
Thank you. And if you're signing up, put your hand up, honey. If you want to sign up to go to DC on Thursday, she's going to take your information right behind you. She's right here in the front.
DC on Thursday?
Yes.
Staten Island on Wednesday.
No,